right. Okay. 1984. George Orwell. Wow. My God, what a fucking book. What a fucking story. What a fucking book. What a fucking novel. Yeah, wow. Uh, so I get why this is so famous now. Like it's a pretty perfect novel. I understand why it's been discussed for over 70 years now or 80 years or whatever it is. Yeah, gosh, this book's perfect. Like, the depictions, the imagery, the plausibility of this story, the scenes, the overall, short plot that this is, the alternate history. I didn't even think of that before I was thinking about this video, but the alternate history that this is, it's this is an incredible book. I can't say it's a I can't say I liked this book because it's just kind of so grim and dark and terrible, but it's a spectacular book and clearly it's perfect. Like, I don't think there's anything one would say or one could say that George Orwell should have done differently with this novel. Like, it's perfect. Like, I don't think there's really a lot of genuine, I don't know what the criticisms are of this book, but after this first read, I don't think I really have any, and if they are, if I do have any, they're sort of relevant. Yeah, gosh, I think one of the striking things about this book is, the imagery at times that it really projects. Like, there's a couple scenes that I'll never forget. Certainly the depictions, or I said depictions, but the descriptions as well of people, of the environment. Like, it all just feels so real as well. The atmosphere, him working at the Ministry of Truth and the Records Department, going around the city, his flats, sorry, the neighbors across the way, like the people at work, it's all just superbly done. Like, it's just so damn believable, and just palpably real, like, coming out of the pages. Like, it's like, this is what it would look like. This is what, a crazy left totalitarian regime would look like. Making up bullshit about the past, rewriting everything all the time, thought police and thought crime, telescreens everywhere, just a griminess and a decay to the city as well, an enormous amount of, like, richness and wealth for some people, and for some buildings, the poor, the proles, as it's said in the book. Yeah, it's just like, I just think this is brilliantly thought out and very well done, and clearly, I totally understand. I totally understand why this book's so damn famous. Yeah, metaphor all over the place. Allegory. I guess I have no idea. Does that word even make sense? Yeah, metaphor all over the place in this book. Indication, meaning, it's just everywhere. I think obviously people can talk about this book and dissect it probably for forever. Well, not forever, but for a long time. There's this one piece of glass that I won't go into detail with that I thought was just a very interesting image, and clearly just a lot of meaning and metaphor around it. The conversations about his mother in this, the image about his mother at one point with sort of this sort of submerging feeling in the water, like, this is a very, very well done book. Yeah, just the imagery of this book is fucking off the charts. Yeah, what else? Pretty well, of course it's well written. It's from before, when things were generally well written all the time. But I'd say very accessible to this day. This is 1949, and yeah, there's a bunch of words in there that I don't even remember what they meant, and definitely words I could have looked up, but I didn't bother doing that. But still, 80 years, almost 80 years later, very, very accessible. Like, not very difficult to read. Yeah, you know, yeah, this is just it's a perfect book. I think if people don't see that, I just go, okay, well, where have you been? Where have you been, and how have you been living? Yeah, gosh, like, just, yeah, what a book. What a book. What a book. Uh, yeah, what a book. You know, I think the main thing that I would hope that anybody would conclude and really discover, or know even, because you don't have to discover and conclude this for reading this book, but this is all just so fucking plausible. Like, obviously there's some things that I probably I would disagree with, but they're very, very, very minute, and the whole concept is totally plausible. The atmosphere, the tension, the people, the class system, of course, the authoritarian government, rewriting everything, fucking telescreens everywhere. Like, this is totally possible, and I hope that that he or anybody reading this would recognize that this isn't some farcical impossibility. And considering the times that we're in October, whatever, 2025, and frankly, what the left has become. I'm just going to say it over in a lot of places in the West. Looking at Germany and Great Britain, where they're literally just arresting people for fucking shit online. That's insane. This is it's very, I think, indicative of what the left track towards totalitarianism can be and become. And this book is just a perfect expose, a perfect spectacle. I haven't said that yet, but that was a word I thought of a lot when thinking about this book. A perfect spectacle of what could happen. And I would hope that any adult reading this would conclude the same thing. Like, it's just absolutely mind-blowing, to think about, in the present tense, in the present, and the status quo, of the political spectrum these days. Yeah, I hope every adult reads this, and hopefully would come to the same conclusion, because it's totally clearly there. Yeah, what a damn book. Yeah, I don't really think I have anything else to say. What a damn book. Yeah. I'm going to say this too. As a Canadian, as a guy who's seen this ridiculous Liberal Party over the past 10 years, I can only ask every other Canadian, are there not facets, just little facets and little specks of the current Liberal status quo? It's very akin to the mentality and the psychology of what is in this book. I think it's just an obvious objective fact. Alright, got a little political there. Alright, peace out, everybody. Good luck. May this never fucking happen. Left or right, by the way. Duh. Left, right, or center. May this never happen. May this never happen.